All right, Pedro, this is where they say the magic happens, right?
Yes, welcome to the Vino Vargas Winery. Oftentimes people have in their mind a vision of gigantic buildings and, chateaus on a hill. And there are those things here, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. This is our winery production area.
Okay.
It's our barrel room. And behind these barrels are a bunch of case goods, meaning bottles that are ready to sell.
Yes.
And we're a very, very efficient little winery. And, as I was telling you a little earlier, everything that we do is kind of automated. So we don't have the need for like 20 people because we do it all here very quickly. And,
sure.
Or I do it here very quickly. But anyway, so all of these barrels have red wine. We have about 3 years worth of red wine.
Okay.
We just bottled a bunch of our 19s, so you'll find some 19s, some 20s, and the brand new 2021s, which means the ones we just harvested this year, harvested and crushed. So they'll stay in barrel for about 18 months.
Okay.
And then, when we need some more, we just pull them out and barrel them up and sell some more red wine.
What are your three favorite ones that you make? Specifically, your three favorite.
Yes, I make a really nice. We're going to talk about the sparkling wine, but on the red wines, I make a really nice GSM blend, which is very typical of the area. Right. It's a Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. And then a nice Zin that is really different. It's not a big, jammy Zin that it's over the top. It's more like a Croatian Zin. Ooh. Kind of nice and light. I'll pour you some later.
I haven't heard that in a long time. That's wild. Okay,
Croatian. But if you do like big wines, I make a Petit Syrah that's really nice. It's a little bolder, a little darker, but very well balanced, so not tannic and not too alcoholic.
That's the one that stains my teeth, and the next morning my girlfriend says, "Were you drinking last night?" Is that the one that does that?
Yeah, don't tell her though. That's it.
Well, cool. And then in your hand is a bottle of your bubbly.
Yeah, we've I've been making sparkling wine. We can't call it champagne here because we're not in Champagne, France, but it's the same thing. But I've been making sparkling wine now for about 6 years. And I started making very, very, very small amounts, kind of to teach me, kind of learn and go. And now we make about almost, 200, 300 cases of sparkling wine.
Wow, okay.
Which is pretty decent. And the way that it works is when the grapes come in, just like any typical production, the grapes come in and you immediately press them. And you get them away from the skin so the juice comes out.
Yeah.
The juice gets fermented in a tank like the one that I showed you outside.
Okay.
And then after that fermentation, you do almost everything just like you're going to make a white wine. Make it very pretty, make it stabilized. And then at that point, you muck it up. You put a bunch of sugar in there, you put a bunch of yeast, and you bottle that. So all that stuff goes into a bottle. And the bottle will sit on its side with the yeast inside. So you have to visualize the yeast, right?
I'm visualizing it.
Yeah, it's the yeast will be inside. And then in about 8 weeks, that sugar and the yeast get converted to carbon dioxide.
Ah, so that's what gives the bubbles. Yep. Okay.
And then after the yeast dies, you have to take it out. So you do that by putting in a contraption called a riddling rack.
A riddling rack?
A riddling rack, which is a board with holes in it.
Write that one down, yeah.
And you turn left and right, and pretty soon you start tilting it. So by turning and tilting, you eventually end up like this.
Okay.
And all the yeast goes to the neck. And at the end of that process, every bottle gets submerged into a freezing liquid, which freezes a plug of ice here. And then when you tilt the bottle, that plug of ice remains here. And when I open it, the pressure pushes that plug of ice with all the yeast out.
And then it's clean.
It's clean. I put a little bit of simple syrup for a sweetener.
Okay.
Put the cork, put the cage, gets labeled, and over to you.
And that's industry standard, or that's unique to you?
This is called method. It's a classic method. So this is the way that Dom Perignon used to make sparkling wine way back in the 1600s. And I'm doing exactly the same thing. There are some modern gadgets that I use, but overall it's the same process. And typically most wineries that have sparkling wine will have another business make it for them. And it's usually made in a big tank, and it's usually made under pressure. Whereas the way we do it, the way that I do it, everything that happens in the bottle is because it was fermented in the bottle.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
Well, that's a whole lot of science.
Yeah, let's go drink wine.
Let's go have some wine. Let's do it. Appreciate it.